This video is going to show you how to call methods and how to manipulate the return values of the methods and print them and things like that. We're going to do it on string. So let's just make a new class. We'll call it string methods. Always make your class names uppercase. That's one of the Java conventions, remember? This, the class name here should be uppercase and it should be camel case. So I used string with an upper, and then the next full word is also an uppercase. All right, so we are going to just do our public static void main again. So I'm going to clear out the defaults and type public static void main. Open and close curly braces. So when I'm starting, remember I always have my two open and close curly braces. And every class only has one main, so you only do this once. And I'm going to construct a string just to play with. Call it my string. Oops, that's simple. And then let's just print out the original before I make any changes to it. A nice line label, in quotes, append my variable name, and let's make sure this runs. I didn't type anything. We'll see what that looks like. Okay, so we have that nice output of the string that we made that we're going to play around with. Now the first thing I want to do is let's show you the Java API. So online you can find these Java help pages. And for whatever object you want to call methods on, that's in this window over here in the left-hand corner. You would scroll around. It's in alphabetical order. You would come down here, and we're looking for the string object that we're going to play with. So you would just come on over here and click string. That loads all of the string information into this right-hand panel. There's a nice explanation of what the object is, shows you an example of how to declare it and different ways you can play with it. But the important part here for when you're calling methods is you want to scroll down to the area that is method summary. These talk about all of the different methods that you can call in a string object once you've constructed it. The right-hand side here tells you the method name. Then it gives you any arguments it needs. This can be empty. Not all methods need arguments. The type of the argument that you have to put in here, and then what it returns, if it does return something. Not all methods need arguments, and not all methods return things. So let's look at, we're going to just scroll down here. There's a lot. Do this on your own and take your time. We're going to look at the startsWith method. So this one needs a string. It tests if the string starts with the specified prefix. So I'm going to pass a string in, and it's going to return a Boolean true, false. So let's go on back over to my class, and I'm just going to embed the results of that in a print line. First I'm going to put a blank print line in here so my output is nice and spaced. You want to logically space your output, and you want to logically space your code. So this was where I was initializing my string. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to give myself a blank line, and then I'm going to just play with some methods here. So let's see if my string starts with the word stop. That's the question I'm going to ask with the right method call. So I already looked up that it returns a string and needs a string. So with my label here telling me what I'm about to test, I'm going to do my object variable name. It's always object variable name dot the method name. And we saw that the one we want to play with is startsWith. And in this case, we're checking if it starts with the word stop. So it needed a string input, which I'm giving it. It returns a string, which I'm just embedding in my print line. So we'll see the answer here. So let's give this a run. So you can see here that I've got still my original printing and the results of that test that I ran. So I asked Java, does my string start with stop? And Java says, no, it doesn't. Now let's get this to print the word true. So we will actually see if it starts with the word this. Oops, capital this. Everything is case sensitive. Remember, especially with strings. So let's run that, and we should see a nice print line of false and then true. Good. So Java knows it does not start with stop, and it does start with this. So let's do a logical break here before we play with a couple other methods. Now let's look back over here. Let's just check one more method. How about we do the toLowerCase, one that needs no inputs, but that does return a string. So this is going to convert all of the characters in the string to lowercase. Now you can, I just want to show you, these are all clickable. As you can see, they become clickable. So if you need more information on this, if I were to click on it, it goes down and it gives a much bigger description of the method. But for the most part, you should be okay with the information up here on top. So let's try the toLowerCase. And this time I'm going to save my results in its own variable name. Again, it's object name dot method name. And we saw that this one doesn't need any inputs. So I can just call it like this. Now what I want to do is I'm going to print the new string. But I also want to show you that the original didn't change. Sometimes Java will manipulate the original object, but in most cases it doesn't, especially in this one. So it's going to use my string, convert it to lowercase, and save it in a new string. It doesn't change the original, so you'll see that this stays the same. So let's clear this. We'll compile again, and we'll run this. So we have our original printing. We have our startsWith method call still printing. Now this is the results of the lower string. So you can see the original is still the same. This is still uppercase and string is still uppercase, but now I have a new variable storing a new object where everything is lowercase. And let's just do one more. Let's play with the replace. Let me give myself my print line so my output looks nice. And let's just, we're going to do the replace. Now I know as you learn things, you don't always have to look everything up. I know what the replace method is already. I know it just takes two strings and it returns a string. So it's going to replace all the occurrences of these characters in order with these characters in order. And again, this is a method that does not change the original string. So my original will still look the same. Always copy and paste your code. It's just quicker. You've already compiled. You know what you wrote works. Don't retype because then you're just going to type more syntax errors. All right, so let's just make sure. So I called replace. I'm going to change around my string. I'm printing the change string and I'm printing the original again, and this will finish us off. Okay, good. So we have all of our other work, and we have the change string, and you can see that the original is still the same, but in the change string, the sequence of characters THE was replaced by IS.